One of the key lessons I've learned over the past 30, 40 years of activism and work in community is the lesson, right? Is how do we work collectively? When we think about the way that we responded to AIDS and HIV in this country, gay men and lesbian women got together to provide support, demand better services. When we saw that clause section 28 was being introduced, the community got together. Same for the age of consent. We collectively got together, we protested, we marched, we made noise. My concern today is that we're very much individual and we kind of hide behind our keyboards, and that is not sustainable. So I think there's something around collective action and a collective response. And as I said, there's so many of us. Imagine what that power looks like when we come together.
Yeah. And I guess the $1 million question is, in a world that is increasingly polarized and in a world in which the algorithm divides us, or that we focus perhaps on our identities more than unity or as much as unity. How do we get to that point of collective action? How do we build community? How do we get out from behind the keyboards and say, together, the whole LGBTQIA plus community, we are one, we stand together, even though there are differences between us?
Yeah. I mean, I think we need to be smarter about it. It's not going to happen overnight. I think, first of all, it's about acknowledging that the algorithm and being behind our keyboards doesn't necessarily serve us, right? Sometimes it starts really, really small. Some of the activism that I've been involved in the most recent years have been small movements. They haven't been major. But I think there is something around recognizing that we may have common foes. We may have common forces that are gathering together. The right has a might. They're really strong when they get together. So we need to look at what, I don't want to use the words our enemies, but the people who are stacked up against us. What playbook are they using? How are they creating collectives and coming together? And what can we do? And there is real strength in solidarity as well.
Yeah. And it's so interesting, isn't it? Because it sounds so easy, but that bit about coming out from behind the keyboards, I guess, the clubs, the scene, the bars, the places that people used to go, some of those are disappearing, but new places and spaces are also popping up. People building new ways of doing things, and I know you've been involved in a number of bits of sort of community action and building those communities. So perhaps, just tell us a bit about some of those.
Yeah, so when I worked at the Love Tank, which was an organisation I ran with Will Nutland, I mean, we had as our ethos, because we were working on HIV prevention and good sexual health, but we recognised that what community needed, when I did Blackout as well, the community needs space. Yeah. They need to come together where they can socialise, they can be creative, they can just connect with one another. And when we see that many of our bars and venues are closing and we don't have pubs, for example, in the same way that we did, because it's expensive, we need to create spaces that are creative and innovative and brand new for people. And we also have to not be the gatekeepers to those spaces. So how do we encourage younger people who may be more on the marginalised sides of our community to have that power to actually do that? I think the other thing that's lacking, which we don't talk about enough, is there's no LGBTQI media in the same way that there once was. It's all splintered, which is media generally. Yeah. But we were able to come underneath the banner of what was, the old Gay Times or Capital Gay in London or wherever you might have been around the country. That local press had us and gave us a voice.
Yeah. And it's so interesting, isn't it? Because when you talk about the press, I think the pink paper was the thing that you used to get once a week and would have loads of the news, and we've got this paradox that on the one hand we've got so much more. That there are Instagram people you can follow. There's loads and loads of things, but on the other, in having more, it feels like there's a bit less. But one of the things which you just talked about was about younger people.
Yeah.